So when I was dreaming and scheming of Dogfish Head and writing the business plan, I did a lot of research about the first generation craft breweries, amazing breweries like Sierra Nevada and Sam Adams and Stouds, Vermont Pub and Brewery, making these beautiful beers, mostly doing, modern, fresh, unpasteurized interpretations of European modern beer styles, English ales and German lagers. And I was thinking to myself, hey, my goal is to really become the first craft brewer in America that focuses on using culinary ingredients, both for recipes that come from our own imaginations, combining ingredients that you'd never expect to be combined, but also referencing as an homage that, in the colonial era, medieval times, we're using culinary ingredients, and we kind of got away from that. And in the colonial era of America, not only was cider more popular, but pumpkin beers were really popular because it was an available source of fermentable sugars. So I kind of took that idea of a pumpkin ale and tried to put our own sort of off-centered creativity on it by bringing even more unexpected culinary ingredients into a pumpkin ale. So our recipe, when it was a homebrew for me in the late 90s, hasn't changed at all really from when we commercialized it. It was definitely a novelty. I'd heard of one other brewery in that era doing a pumpkin ale in California, but we were definitely very, very early. And it became a category that's gotten a lot of energy and growth, and that's really exciting for today's beer drinkers. There's definitely lots of different ways to make something you can market as a pumpkin ale. Oftentimes, frankly, unfortunately, that's done with pumpkin concentrate flavoring, both artificial and natural flavoring. At Dogfish, we go the distance. We're using real pumpkin meat in the mash tun. We're using real fresh crust cinnamon, allspice, real brown sugar, and it's a big, mouthful of a gorgeous beer. Comes in at about 7 ABV, has a beautiful brown hue to it, and it's truly a labor of love every single autumn. So volumetrically, out of this beautiful brew house behind me, 60 minute is the biggest thing that we make. Folks have obviously heard of 90 minute. Our Grateful Dead beers selling amazingly well. But in terms of actual consistent from day one production, year after year, nothing has stood out in the firmament of Dogfish Head beers to the degree that Punkin Ale has. We celebrate being blissfully inefficient. We do hard things. We're carving up pumpkins. We're hammering sacks of black limes to make sea quench. And, the beauty is in the details, and I want to give props to our brewers and makers because there are so many easy ways out in terms of the physical labor if we were just using flavoring and concentrates. And this was the beer that I would brew little 5-gallon batches and bring with mimeograph copies of my business plan on my banking meeting. So I'd try to, liquor up the bankers, have them try a little pumpkin ale while we kind of scratch and sniff, talked our way through the business plan. And it did actually help me raise the money to start Dogfish Head. So thank you for that, Wingman Pumpkin Ale, and all those meetings I had when I was pretty scared, petrified, and young in the mid-90s. And the way we went, the first label for pumpkin ales, I literally did with a potato stamp. I would stamp the pumpkins onto the labels and handwrite the labels and bring them out to festivals like at the Pumpkin Chunkin event here in coastal Delaware. Boatloads of pumpkins get grown, within a 50-mile radius of where we're sitting here at Dogfish Head. So much so that the local farmers started a tradition of, on a Sunday drinking beers and betting who could throw a pumpkin further in a backyard. The next year, those farmers showed up. One of them had like a rubber strap and launched the pumpkin. It turned into like centrifugal force machines and pneumatic cannons. That competition grew to be renowned internationally and on TV as Punkin Chunkin. Some of my fondest memories has been hanging out with my family, my daughter Greer, Sammy and Mariah, going to Punkin Chunkin. We won the recipe contest one year. I beat all the old grannies who had sweet pie and pumpkin cake recipes, and our pumpkin ale won best of show, and that got in the local paper saying, hey, Dogfish Head Brewery's coming, and that definitely motivated me to put a lot of energy behind pumpkin ale. I didn't know about Punkin Chunkin when I first developed the recipe, so pumpkin ale's literally been part of the Dogfish story since the Dogfish origin story began, and it's ritual annually that we all here in the Dogfish community, both coworkers and fans alike, really look forward to. We love living in coastal Delaware at the beach, and it's such a summer destination, but we also love when the brewery here in August starts smelling like brown sugar, pumpkin meat, allspice, and cinnamon, because that tells us fall's right around the corner, as is the release of Dogfish Head Punkin Ale.